back to another topic. This is how do factories pollute, and we are still part of friendly environment, healthy me, under pollution and eco world.
Do now, what was the name of the revolution we studied in Unit 2? The revolution.
Okay, so think of it. Was it the steam revolution? Was it the technical revolution? Or was it the industrial revolution? Okay, so this was when people first started to make things in factories. And as you can see on the right hand side, you have all these different products, but believe it or not, they are all owned by one Swiss company called Nestle. Okay. So Nestle has big factories, and in those factories, all these products are made. So we mentioned about factories, and factories produce products for humans and consumption, and as a consequence, these factories create pollution. So that is what we will learn today. We will analyze effects of violence from natural disasters on the body, mind, and society. We will create works of visual art in the form of diagrams, plans, and illustrations to convey thoughts or stories about various incidents. And finally, we will speak and write to express opinions about various matters around them.
Okay, let's move on to the vocabulary. Number one, a factory. A factory is where all the product comes from. So chocolate factory, so they're going to produce all the chocolate with the packaging and make the chocolate in a factory.
So pollute, which is the verb, actually means to create pollution. So in a factory, if you make a chemical, then after making the chemical, you pollute the environment. So pollute is a verb which actually means to create pollution.
Then we have industrial. So the industrial revolution. So it's part of the factories. Like the factories is an industrial.
And finally, number 4 is quality. So you have quality control in the industries and the factories. So quality means what rate or what ranking will you give the product. Is it rank number 1, which is the best quality, or rank number 5, which is the lowest quality? Okay. So quality means the grade of the product or the score of the product.
Okay, so let's start with 2 videos. One is the industrial factory, chemical released. You see how the factories, how they release the water or like other substance in the nature.
And then we have some help for you in the form of thinking tool, basically the causes and effects of water pollution. So watch these 2 videos and we will see you on the other side.
అక్కడ మునగనిదే మస్తు ఉంటాయి
ఆడుంటాయి అక్కడ
మంచిరాలు వాగలే కదా గండ్ల పడ్డాడు గండ్ల పడతాయి
ఇక్కడ ఒక చిన్న చేప చచ్చిపోయినా తీసారు
ఇక కాదు అక్కడే కాదు చూపెట్టారు పోలే అన్ని దెబ్బలు ఆగి ఉన్నాయి
అందులో ఒకసారి దిగి ఇట్లా అంటే వెళ్తాయి
మురిగిపోయి కుళ్ళు కుళ్ళు నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ
Water is a basic resource that guarantees the life of all living beings on the planet. However, its scarcity and pollution cause millions of people to have poor access to this much-needed asset. Humans are the main cause of water pollution, which is triggered in many ways: by the dumping of industrial waste, due to temperature rise that causes the alteration of water by reducing the oxygen in its composition, or due to deforestation, which causes sediments and bacteria to appear under the soil and therefore contaminate groundwater. In the same way, the pesticides used in agricultural fields filter through underground channels and reach the consumption networks, and also as a result of accidental spillage of oil. And what are the main consequences of this? Firstly, the disappearance of biodiversity and aquatic ecosystems. Also, humans are harmed by the alteration in the food chain and by contracting illnesses when drinking or using contaminated water. For all this, we must ensure water availability, its sustainable management, and sanitation for all.
Yeah, other big problem is the palm oil. Palm oil is almost everywhere. Can be in food and also like in cosmetic and also like gasoline. And this destroys a lot of forests. So here a little video now to explain how the palm oil destroys the nature.
There's a good chance you're not familiar with it, even though you'll find it in many of the products you use every day. It's in everything, from makeup and toothpaste to donuts, chocolate bars, and in some countries, biodiesel fuel. It goes by many names, but it's most commonly known as palm oil. Global consumption of palm oil has quintupled since 1990. Oil derived from the palm fruit is easy to extract, has a higher yield than other types of vegetable oils, and can be used in dozens of products. But the proliferation of palm oil also poses a massive environmental threat. Each year, palm oil plantations destroy millions of acres of forested land, create billions of tons of carbon pollution, and kill endangered wildlife. All of this makes the palm oil industry one of the worst environmental offenders on the planet. In 2015, over 62,000 square miles around the world, much of it former forests, were committed to palm oil plantations. That's an area 4 times the size of Switzerland. Palm oil is one of the top 3 drivers of deforestation in Indonesia, a country that supplies more than half of global demand. Each year in Indonesia, fires are set to clear forested lands to make way for palm oil production. Just last year, over 10,000 square miles were torched, creating fires so big they could be seen from outer space. All of this unleashes massive amounts of carbon into the air. Fires in 2015 added more than 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The burning of forests to clear land for plantations threatens the 10,000 square mile Luso ecosystem in Sumatra, the largest intact swath of rainforest in Southeast Asia. It's home to hundreds of unique species and is the only place left in the world where orangutans, rhinos, tigers, bears, and elephants live side by side. But their home is disappearing around them. The Sumatran tiger and the Sumatran rhino are threatened with extinction. Only a few hundred of each species exist in the wild, and their habitats are often in the path of land clearing. In Borneo, there has been a 50% decrease in orangutan populations in the past 65 years. This is a direct result of the forest fires and conversion of woodlands for palm oil cultivation. Alongside logging and mining, land clearing for agriculture is currently one of the leading causes of deforestation. If consumers don't demand more sustainable practices soon, the products we buy can and will contribute to the loss of the world's rainforests.
So welcome back from the video. So just to do a small recap, basically when you plant palm oil trees, the governments cut down massive amounts of forests, and as a result of that, a lot of carbon dioxide, which is absorbed by these forests, gets released into the air, and temperatures begin to rise, and you have global warming. A lot of times they cannot get rid of the trees and the small shrubs, so they burn all of that, and that also creates air pollution and raises the temperature. And a lot of animals don't want to leave their homes, so they attack, but then the humans have to actually get rid of them. So this actually is a tranquilizer shot where they put the animal to sleep or in anesthesia and they take them away from their own houses. So all of this only so that the factory or the palm oil factory can be created in that forest.
So the environmental pollution caused by factories. So you see here the picture how a factory, how much smoke and how much air pollution they make. And here's some facts about some companies, factories. So McDonald's uses millions of plastic straw every single day, used for just few seconds, then throw away. And it's not just McDonald's, we have KFC and other big branch where they use millions of straw every single day.
Okay, there's a video of a group of people taking out a straw from the nose of a turtle. And we'll show you that in the next few lessons. Besides straws, textile mills, textile being clothes, okay, they generate 1/5 of the world's industrial water pollution and use 20,000 chemicals, many of them carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means something that causes cancer, okay? So all the t-shirts, all the clothes that you wear have a lot of chemicals used. Okay. And then you finally have water contamination thanks to all the pathogens, hormones, drugs, and fertilizers that are used to produce fast food. All of that is thrown away into the rivers. From the river, it goes into the ocean, and that is why water quality has also suffered dramatically.
So how can we prevent factory pollution? How, as a consumer, what can we do? What do you think?
Okay, so one of the suggestions is to make factories more eco-friendly. So even though they hurt the environment, we need factories to make the things we use. But then here we have a few ideas on how to make an ecology factory, how to reduce air pollution.
Then here the diagram, how a big factory pollutes. So more factory means more air pollution. Then you continue with all the effects about a factory, how they pollute.
Okay, so some ideas here is you can have air pollution, they create water pollution, they create land pollution, then the air pollution raises the temperature, you have global warming, the water pollution affects animals in the oceans and the rivers, the land pollution has small particles of plastic which can enter the food chain, and finally you have the planet which is getting destroyed. Okay? So think about all the points you can come up with, and that would be your thinking tool for this week.
Okay, so what have you learned from this lesson? Write everything in your notebook, and don't forget to write in English and the vocabulary also in Thai.
Okay, and finally, do the diagram about how a big factory pollutes on an A4 size paper.
Okay, see you for the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.